This is Melissa Hood from The Parent Practice, and I'm going to help your child manage their anger. Have you ever watched your child consumed with fury, and you might have felt helpless in the face of the strength of the feeling? Or maybe you've been annoyed by it, as it feels disproportionate to you. Usually we don't like our children to be consumed by negative emotions, whether it be anger or jealousy or hatred, or even disappointment or insecurity or fear. But the bottom line is that it's okay for your children to be angry. It's what they do with that anger that may need to be contained or redirected. All children, indeed all human beings, experience anger. And anger isn't always a bad thing. It can be perfectly justified, and outrage can spur one into action. When our children are adults, we'll want them to be angry at injustice and cruelty, for example. Our instinct may be to focus on how to stop the anger coming, or when it does erupt, to try to deter or discourage it. We tend to do that by meeting it with disapproval, or disappointment, or even punishment. We end up saying things like this. See if you recognize yourself. This behavior is unacceptable and it's got to stop. You're letting everyone down when you do this. You're being silly. There's no need to make so much fuss. Why can't you just calm down? What's wrong with you? Often we can end up adding fuel to the flames by getting angry ourselves, partly because we don't know what to do, and partly because we're scared or maybe feeling guilty that we can't help more. So as parents, we can't protect our children from these feelings, and we shouldn't try to prevent them arising or being expressed. But we can help our children to process them and learn to manage them and deal with them appropriately. Here are two solutions that we suggest. One is you need to show understanding. Overall, the challenge is to show that we understand how it is for the child when they're angry, and to connect with them by acknowledging the anger, rather than simply focusing on the behaviour. So that might sound like, boy, something has made you absolutely furious. You just want to yell and scream. As opposed to, don't do that, calm down. Or what's the matter? You might need to reflect the level of passion that your child feels in your voice, starting off loud and fast, and then slowing your voice down. When a child is engulfed with anger, and we recognise and acknowledge it, and we don't deny it or belittle it, we don't make the child wrong for having the feeling. If we do that, usually unwittingly, and they're having that feeling anyway, they experience the multiple whammy of having a negative feeling, believing they're wrong to have it, and wanting or thinking they have to hide it from others. Then they don't learn to deal with it. So we need to let them release their anger. There are several ways to release anger that are not dangerous or harmful. You can choose one that works for you and for your child. So you might like to try shredding paper. Usually we've got scrap paper around our houses. We can have them do a scribble drawing, get the anger out that way. Sometimes you can pound notes on a musical keyboard. You might have material or J-cloths that they can rip up. You might even have boxing gloves and boxing pads. That's a very good outlet. Or if not, punching a cushion works just as well. Some children will put their hands in shoes and stomp all over the floor. Sometimes it's as simple as kicking leaves or running up and down stairs. Or if you've got a trampoline, jumping on that. Actually, anything that's physically vigorous will work. You might also like to take time to include learning to breathe from the abdomen. Or sometimes visualizing something can work to help your child let off steam. Maybe they might visualize a big red balloon that grows and grows and then bursts or floats away. To set this up, we need to find a quiet and private time to talk this through with the child, when they're calm and not under stress, and ask them for their ideas about what they could do and what would feel good for them. When an idea comes from the child, from himself or herself, it's likely to suit them far better than any of our ideas. and also they're more likely to have a greater commitment to it. So you might say something like, "Wonder if you would find it helpful to have something you are allowed to do when you're feeling angry, something that would help, rather than just being told not to do things. Do you have any ideas about something that would feel good but won't hurt anyone or anything in the house?" If they come up with an idea, we can praise them for being creative and proactive. If they struggle or they're reluctant, we can empathise. It's a sensitive issue and they might find it hard to talk about. But we can come back to the conversation later. So good luck with using this new approach to managing anger. Keep developing your parenting practice. And if you're doing one of our courses, either online with the Positive Parenting Academy or face-to-face, take a look at Module 5, where we explore more about managing misbehaviour and positive discipline. I hope you found this useful, and if you'd like other great ideas for bringing the best out in your children, take a look at theparentpractice.com.